friends, and welcome to That Outdoorsy Podcast. I'm your host, Cassie, aka That Outdoorsy Gal, and today I'm joined by Kenny from @KRLPhoto on Instagram. And if you've seen his work, you already know it's absolutely breathtaking. His landscape and nature photography captures the kind of moments that make you stop scrolling and just stare. Kenny also lives life on the road in an Airstream, chasing light and adventure across some of the most beautiful places in the country. We're chatting all about what first drew him to photography, life on the road, the challenges and rewards of Airstream living, and those once-in-a-lifetime moments behind the lens. And I have to admit, I'm a total wannabe photographer. I love taking photos on my hikes and road trips, but I'm so overwhelmed, so I haven't invested in a camera just yet, but I have a feeling after this episode I will be. And honestly, even chatting with my fellow hikers, I think a lot of us wish we were better photographers. So this episode is an extra exciting one for me. Hi, Kenny. Thank you so much for joining me on That Outdoorsy Podcast today.
What's going on, Cassie? Good to be here.
Yeah, I am a wannabe photographer. And so I am kind of doing this episode because I need more information on how I can be as cool as you.
Oh, well, I'm not that cool, but I do like to use cameras. So
Yes.
I'll shed some light on some camera things in the outdoors as best as I can. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, let's just, I guess, get into it. What first got you started in photography, landscape, nature photography?
Yeah, kind of weird. I used to be on the other side of the camera. So for many years, I was a competitive bodybuilder. I was a model, and I would always be in front of the camera. And, I'd work with some photographers. They were amazing. And I work with others, and I'd be like, man, I think I could do, if I like figured this out, I think I could take good photos. And so when I originally picked up a camera, it was so that I could do fitness photography. That's what I wanted to do because I felt like I knew what it was like to be in front of it. So, that's actually how it started. And then my girlfriend at the time, like many, many years ago, she was like, why don't you take pictures of landscapes and stuff? And I just like looked at her. I'm like, ew, why would I do that? Like, that seems so boring. Just like standing there and taking a picture of a mountain.
Oh, look, a tree.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you ever driving down the road and you're just like, oh my God, this is such a breathtaking scene. You take your phone out and you're like, click, and you're like, no. This is amazing. Why does it not look amazing on my phone?
Actually,
it just looks like a little hill.
Work. I do that often.
Yeah. I mean, before I started doing landscape stuff, that was kind of like, I didn't know that the photos that you see were actually real photos. So, so just one day I took a trip to San Francisco and I ended up taking a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge, and it looked like a photo that like a really good landscape photographer would take. And I was just blown away, and I'm like, oh my, wow, this doesn't look real. And so I became obsessed with figuring out how I can recreate that kind of magic in a photo. And I became obsessed with learning about landscape.
So did you just kind of figure it out on your own then?
Yeah. I mean, I watched, like, back then there was like Flern, there was these like very few YouTube channels that you could watch. But I mean, YouTube is great and all, but when you have specific questions, it's you either need a mentor or you just got to go out and take 16 million photos and figure out how to do it. And so, yeah, it was a lot of trial.
Yeah, I feel like I've tried to do some online classes or YouTube, and I'm just like, I don't understand. It's almost information overload. So I'm just like, I guess I'll just use my iPhone.
But I mean, the iPhones are way better than they were when I started. So, yeah, you're not in a bad spot.
I just ordered my iPhone 17, so I'm excited about that.
Nice. Congrats.
Thanks. Okay, so I know you kind of talked about the San Francisco picture. Is there a specific picture? Is it that picture that kind of made you be like, wow, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, so it was like a catapulting moment, but the moment when I was like, all right, I got to figure this out because like I don't want to photograph people anymore. I don't want to do fitness photography. It wasn't as fun as I imagined it to be. So I ended up buying this Airstream. So we're sitting in an Airstream right now, and And I'm sure we'll go into the story of how that became. But I decided on a whim that I was just gonna like get this Airstream and just go live on the road. And I was like, I gotta make money. So
Darn that money.
Yeah. So how can I do that? And then I was like, I met this guy, and we're no longer friends. But we together we were like, hey, let's teach photography. That sounds like a really good idea. We can make money. And so we put together our first workshop on the Oregon coast. And lo and behold, like five people signed up. And then we were like, oh crap, we actually have to teach them stuff. Because I didn't think anybody was going to actually sign up, but people did. So now we're like, all right, how are we going to get away with teaching them enough so they don't feel like they're duped, right? It's that mindset. It's like probably when you started this podcast, you're like,
oh yeah,
what are people going to listen to me jabber on about the outdoors? But the reality is that people want to. It's entertaining.
Apparently.
Yeah. So did my first workshop. I loved it. And then I just worked on creating more workshops and getting better as a teacher. The first one was a little rocky, just like everything in life. But after many years now, it's fine-tuned. It's nice. It's so enjoyable. I love it. I love teaching.
Yeah, I think what I'm learning just through the podcast, through my job, like anything, if you want to do it, you just have to do it, and you just have to figure it out as you go. Like, fake it to make it is a thing for a reason, because we're all just doing it.
And just fail, not be afraid to fail, and just keep on trucking through, because like eventually you'll get good at something you're passionate about.
Yeah, exactly. So I love that you live in an Airstream, and you've lived in it for a while, right? Like, is it 8 years or something like that?
Almost. Yeah, it'll be 8 years this Christmas.
Oh my gosh. So a couple of years ago, well, like 10 years ago, I kind of sold everything I owned, moved into my Jeep Liberty, and just traveled the West. But I only did it for like 6 months because, I had enough money for 6 months, and I just wanted to enjoy it. I wasn't making money while doing it. I just wanted to, hike and explore as much as I could. And I loved it. I mean, there's definitely pros and cons to being on the road. And so the hardest thing for me was finding a place to camp every night, to park and sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I'm just wondering, do you have any challenges like that? What are your pros and cons for doing that?
Yeah, of course. I can relate to that. I mean, we're sitting in a Starbucks parking lot right now doing this podcast. I'm in St. George, so I had a little health issue with my dog. He's all good now. He's on meds, but like I had to stay put in St. George for a little longer just in case we need to revisit the vet a few times. But
Sure.
all is good. All is good. And
Good.
So usually when I'm in cities like this, I'll just find spots. Like I look on the map, and so here's my thing. I find where residential meets commercial, and I look for a park, and I park on those roads. So they're not too loud with cars going by. And I'm also not like parking directly in front of someone's driveway, but I'm also close enough to where I could be visiting people. So I won't get the knock on the door. And that's kind of like, yeah, but I understand. Every night I'm just like, where am I going to sleep tonight? So yeah, that's
I did
a
a few Walmart parking lots back in my day, but they're kind of loud, so they were pretty wild.
Yeah. Four nights ago was my Walmart stay. So
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't drink coffee, but I would always do the McDonald's parking lot instead of Starbucks, but because they'd have Wi-Fi. I also don't really eat McDonald's, but I was like, okay, I can at least get a fry and get some work done.
Yeah.
How about pros to living on the road?
Oh, pros. Wait, that wasn't a pro that I could just like sleep on the side. Obviously, the pros are just the freedom. Like I don't have like $2,000 a month, 4 walls, a little apartment somewhere. I could just travel and go whenever I want, wherever I want, stay as long as I want. So as a photographer, I get to chase those conditions, which is really important. If you want to stay put in a place like, let's say like, I'm in St. George, I'm right outside of Zion, and there's some big storms coming in 2 days, then I can go right into Zion. I can chase those storms, those stormy clouds, the light, and capture scenes like that. So the ability to travel with seasons and also just like have $1 million views for free is like it's a no-brainer.
But yeah, you could kind of just go with the flow. And I even find myself now, I'm trying to get into the photographer mindset with the lighting and the storms. Yeah. But it's so hard because I work a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and there might be like a really cool storm. And the mountains, I love when they have that like layer of clouds, like cutting them off. And I'm just like driving to work. I'm like, okay, I wish I could go shoot that, but I can't.
Those 9 to 5s, man, they get in the way. Yeah, they get in the way.
They're hard.
I know. I feel for you.
My gosh, I know. I'm just gonna have to start teaching photography workshops, I guess.
Do it.
So here's the iPhone and what you do. I'm sure people do that already, though. Let's talk about the workshops really quick while we kind of were on that subject anyway. So how many do you do a year? I know that you do one in Oregon. I know that you do several locations. How did you decide the locations?
I'd say how I decide where I'm going are places that I think are beautiful, that I genuinely love to photograph. I'll take people to those places, and they're just great playgrounds to teach people composition, how to frame your subjects, different photography strategies and approaches to capturing all these different things. So I do a lot of astrophotography. So I just did a comet workshop like a week and a half ago. So I was chasing Comet Lemon all across California, Nevada, and Utah. And yeah, that was super fun.
You inspired me to go chase it. I don't know how familiar you are with the Salt Lake area, but there's the Saltaire, and you can walk out to the water right behind the Saltaires. It's almost like the Salt Flats, but you can't drive out there. And so I went out there with a couple of my friends, and we took some iPhone photos of the old comet out there because I saw your post and I was like, oh, this is so cool. I want to do it.
That's awesome. So I didn't know you got it.
But sorry, continue. I was just had to
that's awesome. That's super fun. I was at the Salt Flats, and I was capturing the comet there on one of the nights, and then did a whole bunch of nights in Arches, and it was a blast. So photography workshops, they vary from temperatures, places. I do Oregon coast. I do big waves like the King Tides, fall colors, Colorado. I've done the Leavenworth. So it changes each year. It just really depends on, like, for one, where I want my route to go. Like Arizona, I'm going to be doing one this winter with horses, and then I'm doing one in the spring with flowers, horses, and owls. And so they're all just so different, and they're just a blast. It's a great way to, like you were saying, if you want to learn photography, finding that mentor. Like, you can watch YouTube, you can go out and fail a million times, and you're still going to fail even going on workshops, but you're going to be able to get like those strategies in real time, looking at real scenes and understanding your camera and how to photograph them and how to create. I use the term award-winning photos. That's how, even though I don't enter competitions and I'm not really all into photography competitions, but I use the term award-winning because
they're so good though. I'd vote for you. You'd win.
Oh, well, thank you. But I want people to take award-winning shots. I want them to learn how to do that, so when they leave the workshops, they're able to replicate and like continue on with those reps and just build their portfolio and just have fun with photography, because I love it. So everyone else must love it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I'm sure it's just nice to, as someone learning photography, just to have you there to ask questions, because I think that's my thing is, when I do go out there, I'm like, dang, I think I can get it, but I just have like a few little questions that, or, the answers.
You could ask me.
There.
Just send me your question.
Me. Yeah. I know you're chasing comments right now, but I have a quick question.
Right. Yeah. That'd be completely fine.
So let's talk about the comet really quick. So how did you know that was coming? Because I feel like I heard it on the news, but I heard it from you first. So how?
Yeah. I'm obsessed with space weather and aurora and comets and things of that nature. So I knew about the comet 2 days after it was discovered, about 2.5 months ago. Yeah, so I
Oh, wow.
immediately put together, because I saw the forecast. I mean, it didn't even have a name yet. That's
Oh, wow.
when I saw. So I follow a lot of like space weather stuff, and so when
Sure.
it was first discovered, it was not even called Comet Lemon. Um, and yeah, I immediately put out a newsletter with all the information saying, hey guys, this comet's going to be really bright in 2 months. Like, here's the forecast. And then as time got closer, I sent out a few other newsletters. And then also I was like, hey, I'm doing a workshop too. So if you want to come along and get some awesome shots of it. But yeah, I try to provide educational stuff. And to answer your question, it's just being obsessed with like space weather, and that's how I knew of it.
I've actually been getting into it as well. So I guess it was 2 years ago. Well, I've always like dreamed of seeing the Northern Lights. It's a big bucket list for me. And like 2 years ago, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Alaska because, I feel like the auroras have just been like really good these last couple of years. So I was like, I just don't want to miss it. I was going to go to Alaska. So on my birthday in May, my husband,
May what?
May 11th.
May 15th.
What are,
Yeah.
Oh, we're like neighbor tourists.
Yeah.
That's why we get along so well.
Yeah.
I actually just found out one of my other podcast guests, she's also a Taurus. I'm like, am I randomly just selecting all the Taurus people?
All the bulls,
I think so. Yes, exactly. But so we were camping in Escalante, and you don't really have service out there. And on I guess it was my birthday, we went into town to like eat pizza, and I saw I'm in like a bunch of like Northern Lights Facebook groups, and I saw the Northern Lights are going to hit the United States and and I was like, how cool would that be to see the Northern Lights on my birthday? Sure enough, we were camping out there, so it's so dark. And I mean, I was like crying. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's so amazing. And then I just became obsessed. And so then that October, they hit Salt Lake. And so I went back out. I went to the Saltaire. It's kind of where I go to see the stars because it's close enough to the city. I don't have to drive super far, but it's dark enough. And I got the Aurora across the Great Salt Lake. And so I've definitely been, I've been trying to figure out how to understand the numbers. So I'm getting it slowly, but oh my gosh.
I can break it down for you.
Break it down. The BZ.
Break it down.
I know there's something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So the KP index is a combination of multi hours. It's an average. So it's not the best way to measure whether you're going to see aurora, especially in like middle latitudes, like you're in Utah. So, for instance, tonight we should get an impact from multiple CMEs, coronal mass ejections, that come off the sun. They hit our magnetosphere, and I'll break it down like how the aurora actually happens. Once those CMEs hit that magnetosphere, the magnetosphere absorbs that energy and it pushes it into what's called a magnetotail. The magnetotail is what sits on the dark side of Earth, right? Because one side of the Earth is always facing the sun. There's always a dark side. So the magnetotail is always on the dark side. And what it does is when that BZ is negative, it is charging the magnetotail. So it gets filled up. And think of it like a slingshot. When it gets too filled, it just, boom, it catapults into the north and south poles and it creates a substorm. So when you see the aurora in Utah, you're seeing it through a substorm. So the aurora oval is basically like where the aurora kind of like covers through the US. So if you're in Canada, like you don't need a substorm to see like really good aurora. It'll just kind of move around. But what happens is when those charged particles get pushed and slingshot into the poles and that substorm hits, if you're in Canada, you're just going to see just chaos dancing in front of you when that substorm happens, and it pushes down the aurora oval down through the US. So with a really strong geomagnetic storm, we can see it. And so tonight we have forecasted a G3 storm, which is pretty sizable, where middle latitudes have a decent chance at seeing it, as long as the BZ stays negative and keeps charging that magneto tail. And then there's one more thing, and then I'll get off there's something called a
I love it. I love it.
All right, so you can monitor real time when that substorm happens through on NOAA. You could just look up the GOES magnetometer, and you can just watch that chart. And when it spikes, that's when a substorm happens. That's when all that particles are getting slingshot into the north and south poles. So you can watch that. I could show it to you, and it's really easy to read. It sounds like really complicated, but it's not. You could literally just see like the spike, and then you're like, oh boy, here it comes. Like you could get ready for it. Yeah. So it's real time.
So when you see the spike, you like need to be in the location.
Yeah.
It's not you see the spike at home and then you drive to the location.
No, you're at the location and you're watching it and you're like, there's a spike. All right, guys, let's see if it's going to reach us. Yeah.
That's so cool. I've always been interested in photography, but I think that's what like catapulted me into like the astrophotography piece, and then I just want to like get a camera and just figure it out, because I also am like obsessed with space and the stars, and so I think that it would just be fun to pull that together. The problem is I work, and so I don't want to be out all night because I got to get up the next morning. That makes it tough, but
I know.
But I guess I'll just have to quit my job and become a photographer. So, new plan.
Yes.
Go get my Airstream, or just move back into my Jeep. That worked out great.
Yeah. You don't need an Airstream. You just do the Jeep thing.
I just need a little space. I remember when I got back from living in my Jeep, I moved in with this girl, and I felt so weird being in the house that I would often like go sleep in my Jeep in the driveway.
Would you still pee outside?
No, but I am so comfortable doing that anywhere because of that trip. Yeah. Like I'm just like, it's outside. It does kind of change you. It was hard coming back to reality after that trip, for sure.
I bet. Yeah. I don't know how I would do in society.
It was tough. And I came back and started a job right away, and I was like, what's happening? I just lived in the wild for 6 months, and now I'm at a desk.
Be thankful.
Gotta make that money, though.
6 months. Yeah.
I will never stop talking about that trip because it was incredible. Which I'm sure like every day is for you.
Ups and downs. I mean, ebbs and flows. Yeah.
Totally. Okay, let's say you're teaching a photography workshop. You're teaching your comet workshop. How do you still get your shot? Like, how do you get the shot that you want by still trying to teach other people? Because I think that's where I would struggle. I'd be like, okay, I want them to do a good job. I got to get my shot,
Yeah. So here's a few cool strategies that I've done before. Is I've worked with other people. So I'll have a friend come along with me, and then I usually teach workshops with someone else. And so we'll limit the amount of participants, and then we'll also delegate certain cameras for each of us to run. I'll be like, hey man, I'm going to use a tracker and get the comet really zoomed in. Here, use this camera and this lens for a foreground like time lapse, where like a wider time lapse, and then my other buddy will be tracking on a different camera, and we'll share data so that we're not stuck, because it's all the same. So when you're doing a comet workshop, it's totally different than shooting waves or landscapes, because everyone has a different eye and there's different. But for comet workshops, we're literally planning and lining these compositions up, like we're scouting these places. So when it comes time and we get there, it's technical, but we've already done all the creative planning with compositions. So you're far from your subject. So you're just doing like zoomed in stuff. You're not really getting foregrounds. So it's a place where we can share data And then we're able to not have to worry about, I'm not going to miss out on that shot. You're not going to miss out on that shot. We're free to go and teach other people. So we still get our shots and our cameras are just running while we're teaching. And we also use
Very
it
cool.
as an example of like, hey guys, let's show you how to set up a tracker. Like, here's how we set up the tracker. Boom, boom. We set the camera. This is how we're going to time lapse, and boom, it's going. And we just showed everyone how we did it, and we don't have to look at it for the rest of the night. And then we could be hands-on with everyone else. Yeah. But that's the Comet workshop.
Okay,
yeah, they're all different. They're all different. In circumstances where there's big waves, a lot of these places I've been so many times, so I have no problem putting my photography on the back burner and giving people my full attention. The Comet's something a little different, where we have to strategize and make sure that we have our stuff set up, but it doesn't impact the delivering all the information and the teaching with our students. But in other circumstances, I'll use my camera as a tool to show people, but I will literally take my camera away at the best light and say, here, now you try and compose this. The light is perfect right now, and let's work on your settings. Let's make sure everything is in focus. And I'm totally okay with leaving that on the table when I'm doing photography workshops, because I want everyone else to get better shots than I get. That's the goal.
That's great. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's how you'd have to be. That's always like, how?
Yeah.
How do you get it? But that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of just the big waves, that video, that reel that you posted where you were like standing next to that huge wave, did that go viral? Because that was so cool.
Yeah. Those were 30 to 40 foot waves, I think, that day at at Shore Acres. And we were on trail. What's funny is, like, when things go viral, like, people come out, they're like, this is dangerous, you shouldn't be there. But it's an optical illusion where the wave, the splashes is not anywhere near me. It's not dangerous. I'm on a marked trail. Like, it's not, but it looks crazy because the waves are right behind me, and it looks like an avalanche of snow because they're so massive. But the compression, when you zoom in on your subject and there's compression, it looks like the wave is so close to me, but it's so far.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah.
I was like,
yeah. It has that effect when you see it.
So we kind of talked about chasing the conditions. Is that how you decide where to do the workshops, or where you want to go? Is it by seasons? Like, the wildflowers are going to hit this place. I don't know. I think, like, my struggle is I know, like, the wildflowers are going to be up at Alta in July, and then I just go up there every year, but I don't really expand. So how do you find new places, I guess, is my question. Living
on the road for 8 years. That's how.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. But no, you're exactly right. A great example of when people ask, how I choose where I'm going to travel is I just chase flowers all year round. And when I chase flowers, that means I'm going to be in really good weather conditions, so my dog doesn't have to suffer. And we could just go places that are comfortable. Because most of the places when flowers are blooming, the temperatures are perfect. So as far as workshops or travel, it is dependent on the weather conditions. I want to make sure I'm going somewhere where we have optimized our position for getting whatever it is we want to achieve, whether they're big waves, whether they're flowers, whether it's the Milky Way, even the Comet. We chose Salt Lake City because of the possibilities of clear skies, and we got clear skies every night. So these are the things. So there's like a lot of thought that goes into the workshops. Arizona, the heat's not going to be out of control. The flowers are going to be there if there are going to be flowers that season, and the wild horses are going to be crossing the river. There's going to be baby owls at that time of year typically. So there's a lot of research that goes in, and just years of just petitions throughout the US and just bringing people along for the best times.
Amazing. So you do the workshops, but then I'm guessing you still go out on your own, and in between workshops, are you just trying to find your perfect shots? How do you decide where you go when it's just you and the puppy?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we just go with the flow. There's no
No rhyme or
there's
reason.
no. And a lot of times months will go by in between workshops. And sometimes I'll pick up a client here and there that's just like, hey, where are you going to be in February? I want to come out for a few days. And so,
Oh, cool.
I'll be like, I don't know. Now I have to figure out where I'm going to be in February. So let's figure that out. And then I do some brand work and other stuff. And like right now, St. George, I'm just going to Starbucks every day, going to the gym and getting work done. So when you asked about the podcast, I'm like, yeah, this is perfect because I'm so free. Like my schedule is so free right now.
So glad it worked out.
Yeah, me too. This is fun.
So do you have a favorite place or top 5 that you love shooting?
I mean, it's always going to be like the last 5 places I've been. There's just no...
Probably.
Yeah, it's like...
So Utah,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah, you like Escalante. I just went through there with fall colors. It was beautiful. I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah. And I think I had pizza at the same place, Escalante. Is that where you had pizza that day?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, top 5 is South Oregon coast, the Redwoods, Mount Rainier, Superstition Mountains, right outside of Scottsdale.
I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It's really pretty.
They're on my list.
And then anywhere with dark skies, it just adapts to the weather. I was just in Mount Shasta. Like I loved it. I was there for like 6 or 7 days, and I had so much fun up there. I didn't want to leave, but I had to leave for the Comet workshop.
Didn't you get like you weren't expecting to shoot the comet or something?
Yeah.
I think I saw something on your Instagram where
It was so crazy. My buddy was like, hey, there's a really good road shot that lines up with Shasta that faces north, and double check, but I think the comet goes there. And so my buddy Mark Stewart, the same guy I did the workshop with. And so I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, man, I'll roll there. And I rolled there, and it was just fog covered. And I'm just like, like sunset's happening. I'm just going to keep on driving to Reno. And so I just kept driving. I drove like 50 miles, and then there was a pullout on the map that had a funny name. I don't even remember what the name was, but it was like Hat something, like Hat Creek something, Rim. And I just pulled a U-turn because I'm like, oh, that looks like a good place. Like maybe it has a good overview. I honestly only wanted to see, it was like 8:30 or 8:15. I was like, I just want to see if my phone will capture the comet, because the comet was still pretty new in our sky. So I haven't had a lot of shots with it. And so I pulled off into there, and I took a shot with my phone, and my girl Sarah, who's with me, she's like, wait, is that Mount Shasta on your phone pic? And I look and I see the comet. The comet's right above Mount Shasta, and we're like 50 miles away from where we were going to shoot it before. And I have a clear view of Mount Shasta, like 60 miles away, so I could zoom super in with the comet, and it was totally unplanned. And I was like, oh my God. So I ran back into the parking lot. I grabbed all my stuff. I set up the tracker. I got the shot with Shasta. And yeah, it was crazy because I ended up getting the comet with Mount Shasta 50 miles away from where I originally was going to photograph it without...
And then you had like the fog.
Inversion.
Like
Yeah.
it was like the perfect storm.
And then I haven't even processed the time lapses of like then this whole inversion just filled. So we're on this overlook, and we're above the clouds, and just like there's clouds everywhere, and there's like little mountains poking out. And I was like, what the heck is going, like literally just pulled over to see if I could take a cell phone shot of the comet. The fog wasn't even there yet. And then all this magic started happening. I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're going to hang out here for a few hours and shoot this. Yeah,
Don't
it was
you
fun.
just love that though? And everything just like, oh my God. I don't, it's something about a cloud inversion too. That's one of my favorite things. My trick is when it's snowing on a weekend, of course, if it's snowing on the weekend, and the weather says that it's going to like stop snowing midday, I'll start hiking like a couple hours before it's supposed to stop snowing. And that has been my luck to get an inversion.
Yeah.
And so they're so cool. Just like being above it.
Yes.
Feel like you're flying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changes everything. Yeah, it changes the whole scene. It makes it look magical.
So do you have other moments like that? Do you have another moment where you were just like something you didn't expect, but something that you still think about? And maybe it was something you expected, but is there one shot that you're just always thinking about?
Just thinking about.
You have so many
Oh
good
my
ones
God.
though. So
Thanks. Yeah, they're just like, I think the moment that made me cry was the night that you saw Aurora in Utah. It was October 11th. And
it was, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that night very well. Same with May 10th. Same with the night of May 10th.
Yeah, I cried
when
both
you
of those
saw it.
nights. So
Yeah. Well, so October 11th, I went to the North Cascades with my buddy Mark, and so we're really far north. You know, we're in Washington, North Cascades, and we went there because obviously we knew the Aurora. You know, we drove there specifically to get Aurora, and it's the first time that I had ever seen overhead Aurora. I've photographed the Aurora probably like 20 times before that in the US, and just like random, you know, like, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. You know, you're getting it. But as you know, like May 10th, October 11th were like phenomenal nights. And in Washington, you just see the apex right above you, just dancing in real time with your eyes, and like
oh my gosh.
I just broke down in tears, all while my camera was going, of course. But yeah.
Gotta get the shot.
But I mean, I stopped. I mean, you know, I have 3 cameras running at all times, and yeah, I mean, I think I only had one at that point because I just stopped and I was just started to cry. It was just in awe. So that moment I'll always remember, and thankfully I have time lapses from those moments that I can go back and just kind of relive that. And it's just like, you just want another hit of that. Same like you're like, that's what got me going. I want to do astrophotography. I get it. Yeah, you just want more of those moments.
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of why I started the podcast was like, I just have so many cool stories that have happened outside, right? And I knew I wasn't the only one, so I just wanted to hear other people's stories. Because I don't know, the outdoors are, I mean, they're just so cool, and so many cool things can happen. So were you always into the outdoors, or did you get into the outdoors because of photography?
Yeah, I think, I mean, as a kid, I enjoyed, like, I'd always beg my mom to take me to this place called Child's Park. It's in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. I'd always want to see these waterfalls. And I grew up in New York, grew up on Long Island, not a lot of nature out there. I think photography really opened me up to nature. Even I'd have girlfriends in the past that would be like, let's go for a hike. And I'd be like, cool, okay. Are we done yet? Does this
That's my husband.
count as a hike? Yeah, I mean, that was me before a camera. I mean, it just, photography, the art of photography and creating has made me appreciate nature and see nature in a way that is inconceivable if I told myself, my younger self, like, this is how you're going to look at things when you get older. It would just, like, I wouldn't believe that. I wouldn't comprehend it. So now it's just like, nature's just magic. There's just, no matter what you look at, even if you just fine tune those little moments, if you're in the city and you see just a flower patch and you could fine tune, you see some ladybugs walking through there, like there's beautiful moments going on all around us all of the time. And I didn't get to see those things before, or if I did, I wasn't able to recognize that.
Yeah, I think too, that's why I'm interested in photography, because, you know, like we were talking about earlier, you just, with your phone, you just can't get the feeling that you're seeing, right? Like it might be like the most incredible scene, and you go to take a picture and you're like, oh, that's not what it looks like. And that's not how it feels. But I feel like photography, I mean, there's so many great photographers out there, but I mean, your stuff, when I look at your pictures, I'm like, I feel it. And I think that that's like a great thing about photography is even for, I mean, even people, you know, not everyone can go hike. And, you know, I think photography is special for that reason,
Yeah.
because it'll allow other people to connect with the outdoors and nature who just, can't get out there like, some of us do. But
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, so I keep going off script because I just have so many questions. I think this is my struggle. So when you're trying to find a place to shoot, how do you, like, your friend, you were talking about that road up by Mount Shasta, like, how do you find that? Is it just having photographer friends and you guys share information? Is there, sometimes I feel like I'll go up to shoot a sunrise and I'm thinking, okay, I want to shoot the picture where the sun is coming up. And sometimes it lights up there, but sometimes it lights up behind me. And
Sure.
I'm like,
Yeah.
but wait, the sunrise. So I guess, how do you figure that out? What's the secret?
They're great questions because I think a lot of people can resonate with that as like I want to do photography. I want to photograph a sunrise, but how do I know where to go? And I am blessed to have a lot of friends and a network of people that, if I'm coming to town, someone will say, oh, hey, you should go check out this place. And I'll be like, okay. But also, I don't ever research anything, which we haven't talked about. I sound like somebody who probably researches a lot.
Yes.
But I don't. When it comes to landscape photography, if someone tells me about a spot, I don't even want to see what it looks like. If I'm hanging out with Mark, or I'm hanging out with Tim, or I'm hanging out with Cody, and they're like, hey, we're going to go here and here and here, I'm just like, okay, cool. I don't care what it looks like. I don't want to know what it looks like. I don't want to see a picture of it. I just want to go and interpret it however it is that I interpret it. Maybe I miss the iconic view of maybe what someone else has done there. Maybe not. Maybe I find it without knowing. But I want to be able to look at things and interpret the light. So going back to what your question is interpreting the light, anticipating what's going to happen, seeing what the clouds are doing, seeing where the sun is going to come up, where it is going to set, what might light up, what is lit up at the moment, and trying to capture strong foregrounds that bring you into that lit mountain or that lit tree right in front of you. And so there's no specific question to how to photograph those scenes. I think it comes, again, like backtracking to like repetitions and failing so many times to where you learn what you like to see and what you like to look for and what you like to photograph. And when you find those things, then you're able to have a broader spectrum. It's like if you're learning how to play football, you put a helmet on and you're just like, oh my God, am I going to be able to see the ball? Like, when the ball's thrown at me, am I, but once you learn the sport and you get comfortable and you're like, oh, I'm fast, I'm agile, I'm faster than this guy, I know my routes. Now you can focus in on everything else and you can put the pieces of that puzzle together. So when it comes to finding locations, a lot of what I like to do is drive around. Like Escalante, I just drove around. I didn't, a lot of the places I go and I photograph, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know. I just randomly just explore and take photos of what I see because I don't want to replicate what's already been done. I don't want to chase photos. I don't want to chase iconic locations. I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I've driven past it 15,000 times. I've never actually been there, not because I think it's not beautiful, or I think that I shouldn't go. I should go. But I've never been inspired to go because I've seen so many photographs from there. I've never been to I've never actually been to Delicate Arch. Not with the Comet, actually, like in the park. I photographed Delicate Arch from outside the park for the Comet, but I've never actually been to it. Yeah. I've never actually been to it because I tend to shy away from really popular places because I love the art of creating something that hasn't been seen yet. I know I just kind of rambled on there and might have answered your question a little bit.
No, yeah, you definitely did, and I just need to practice. I just need to
practice.
Do it.
Yeah.
I just need to do it. But I think it's interesting saying that you don't really plan for the shots or for the locations, because I have found myself doing that lately because I think that I will look up a place, and especially because, I'm still, I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm like, okay, what have other people shot type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like I get disappointed because I can't like shoot it the way that they shoot. Like going to locations, things look incredible in photos. And sometimes it's not as good in person, like the
Right.
photo actually makes it look better. So I have found myself not planning as much lately and just exploring and going on a drive and just seeing what I see out there. So I kind of love that you said that, because I'm like, oh, okay, good. I'm on the right track then.
Yeah, and let me preface by saying that I live on the road, so I'm also different, and I understand that when someone is working a 9 to 5 and they have 4 days of PTO, then they're going to plan those 4 days, and I think they absolutely should, to capitalize on the time that they have off to go see these places. So I'm not knocking anybody that does. Yeah. It's just a different approach that feels good to me, that I really enjoy. But yeah,
I think what I do more now, for example, this weekend we're going to Idaho. We're going to do a little hot spring road trip. But so I've kind of planned where we're staying the night, but I haven't really planned exactly where we're going during the day, because I've never been out there. So I kind of just want to, because I am a planner, but I'm trying really hard not to dig into the research and just kind of enjoy the trip, because I hear that it's just so beautiful out there. So hopefully it goes well. But we're staying in like a little cabin. And so I'm hoping I can, get some fake star pictures with my iPhone. We'll see how it goes.
Well, yeah, do it. Yeah, that's and just also, I love hanging out with planners, by the way, because I'm not a planner. I will just piggyback off of a planner and just like, oh, we're going, you want to, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, let's go. Like, so like nothing wrong with that. I appreciate planners. I am not one, except for workshops. Except for workshops. Those are planned out. They're very, very particular. But when it's my own stuff, it's different.
Yeah. My husband gets mad at me because I am too much of a planner. I actually have a spreadsheet for every day of my life, and my husband hates it. But I'm also, because like you said, because I work every day, I need to maximize my time. So I get home from work and I'm tired. And if I don't have something on my spreadsheet, I'll just go to bed at 5 p.m. But if I'm like, oh, I want to go do this hike or go to the Saltaire and look for a comet, if it's not on my spreadsheet, I won't do it. So I'm fine having it on the spreadsheet and not doing it. But if it's not there to begin with, I just won't do it. So that's kind of how I do it. And then, but I have become more flexible with it, because again, my husband's not a planner. So he's like, can we just chill? I don't understand. I got things to do.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. So being a photographer out in nature, the outdoors, have you ever had any scary moments or weird things that have happened out there?
I was in a tornado.
Were you really? A tornado.
Yeah. I was out with my ex-girlfriend. We were chasing storms in Texas, and I'm not a storm chaser. I have very limited knowledge on it. But I did have someone helping me, a friend of mine who was sitting at home, he's a storm chaser. He was like, oh, here, man. Okay, you want to be on this side? So I wasn't completely blind. I just want to preface, don't go out and storm chase.
Don't do it.
without proper knowledge. In this case, we drove up to the top of the hill. The sun had just set. We're getting into blue hour where things just get pretty dark. And finally, on the radar, it shows a tornado just touched down right where we are. We're standing on a hill. We have a 360-degree view pretty much around us. And I'm just like, I don't get it. Where is it? And so then the rain stops. And it was heavy rain all throughout. And the rain stops. And I'm like, that's weird. It's raining all around us. And so the wind then picks up. And I've always been told that when you're in a tornado, it sounds like a freight train. And so all of a sudden I'm standing there with my ex, and the freight train's going. We hear choo, and I just look at her and I just go, run. So we run to her truck and back up, and drive out of there. We never actually saw it, but like obviously the rain stopped, the wind picked up like crazy, and the freight train, and yeah, so I don't know if it actually touched down, but it was right above us, and that was really scary when we heard the freight train. Yeah, that was scary.
I imagine. Well, I'm from Missouri, Tornado Alley, so I grew up with tornadoes. And what's crazy is that I miss them.
I bet they're so cool.
They're so cool. And I can't remember. I was talking to someone, like, I don't know. I think it was someone I work with. And I was like, yeah, I miss tornadoes. Like, they have a smell. I miss that smell. I think it's like dirt, maybe. Maybe it like smells like earth. It's like this very earthy smell.
Well, that's the rain, right? So when rain hits the soil, it creates
kind of the rain
geosmin.
Yeah, is that what it is? Is that what it's called?
It's geosmin. Yeah. So we can actually smell. So when it rains and you have that first smell, it's like the chemical reaction of the soil and the water, and I think it's called geosmin, and that's what we smell. Yeah, it's for whatever reason humans are just our senses are so heightened to that smell, and most people really enjoy that smell.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
that makes sense.
Yeah, we just don't get as many storms out here. Like, it'll rain, it'll storm a little, but I mean, there's nothing like a Midwest storm. Okay, you're speaking to me, someone who wants to get into photography, but literally just has no idea where to start. Do you have any advice? Whether it's for gear, composition, or anything, just any advice for someone wanting to get started in it?
Yes. Take my workshop, Cassie.
That
is the only advice I have.
I was looking at it the other day and I was like, should I? Don't be surprised if I sign up.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think finding a mentor and putting, again, like I keep on going back to reps. I was a bodybuilder for many years, so like reps are my thing. And I think when it comes to photography, it's not the gear. You get whatever you can afford to get with a camera, sturdy tripod camera and a decent lens. And like you just have to go out and learn how to shoot in manual mode. And I would encourage people to do that. So get that out of the way, because again, it's putting on that football helmet and feeling overwhelmed that you can't see anything. It's the same thing picking up that camera. It's overwhelming. You're not going to be able to see anything when you're photographing because you don't even know what settings to use and how to shoot in manual. So the idea is to get the camera in your hand, get the lens, take thousands of photos at all different, shoot an automatic, put it onto your computer, see what the automatic dials was saying, the settings should be, and then go out and try all the different settings. And then you'll start coming up with questions. And then you can ask those questions online, get simple answers to your simple questions, apply them. And then after some time, once you feel like, okay, manual mode makes some sense, that's when I encourage people to then take a workshop or go on. Like if you've gotten past the point of learning how manual mode works on a camera, now you're at the stage where like you can level up your photography, because everyone wants to go out and we want to do the thing we want to do, and we want to do it well, right? When we go out and do the thing.
We just want to be good at
it. Yeah. But we have to learn how to walk. We have to learn how to run. We have to learn how to do all of these things. We have to learn how to post our podcast on a platform. We have to learn all those things, right?
Yes.
And then once we do that, then we can be like, wow, I want my script to flow more like this and more like that. So for photography, it's the same thing. It's just getting the camera in hands, taking tons of photos, different settings. Once you've got that, then you've got really good creative questions. So once you start getting the creative questions, now you're in a stage where like taking a workshop, taking a course, figuring out what direction you want to go with your camera. There's just a lot of different things then, but yeah, that's my advice.
Oh my gosh. I love that. That's good advice. Cause I feel like I probably would have just jumped right into a workshop. Teach me everything. I'm ready.
You won't get as much if it's a one-on-one. That's different.
Sure.
But if you're going to a group dynamic, people can show up. I've had people come on workshops that are completely, like, hey, I just bought this camera. How does it work? And I'm just like, oh, like this might be this, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're not going to get as much out of it.
yeah. Because like, my goal with teaching workshops is I want to level people up. I want to take them from a place of like my photos look good, but they're just missing. What am I missing? How can I get these to go from here to there? Like, how can I get the award-winning shots? And those are the types of people that I love teaching. It's teaching like the manual settings and all that is, you could learn that anywhere. You can go to a local photography club. You can take $100 course. My workshops are multiple thousands, not, we're like, you could learn that stuff for like $100, and you're not going to learn anything from me that you're not going to learn from them. And that's the truth. So it's money well spent to get that beginner stuff, but really just get the camera in hand. We think too much about things and we put things off because they get daunting and they get really hard and complex. And, oh my God, where do I even begin?
No.
So for photography, you just pick it up, go shoot. And you'll learn. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we're almost done. I have one more question. It's kind of my favorite question for the podcast. It is we listen and we don't judge. Just because I've done a lot of stupid things, especially in the outdoors. I think hiking's the same way as photography. You have to learn, right? You have to fail. And so I'm curious, have you done anything really silly, stupid, funny, embarrassing when you've been out shooting? He's like, nope, I'm perfect.
No, I, recently I did leave all my camera gear on top of my truck and drove away.
No.
Drove about 1.5 to 2 miles, came around a turn, and then saw in my rear view a bunch of camera equipment rolling on the concrete.
No, I think that counts.
Are you judging me?
I would never. Oh my gosh.
Luckily, I have insurance, so all was well at the end of the day.
So it did get damaged.
Oh yeah. All of it got damaged.
Oh no.
It yeah. It was just a few months ago.
Oh my gosh. Still fresh.
Yeah. It really is. Yeah. But I also wasn't sure, like, yeah, God, you brought up all these bad memories, Cass.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I'm just glad. I'm just thankful you didn't judge. So thank you.
I would never judge. I would never do that. It's okay. When you start seeing me post my photography, you will definitely be judging.
No.
You'll be like, she listened to nothing I told her.
No, we all start somewhere.
It's true.
It's not. Yeah, like it has to start somewhere. Yeah. It doesn't.
I mean,
doesn't start.
Like I said, I say that about hiking too. Like for people who are like, how do I get into hiking? I'm like, you just do it. You got to do it. You got to make the mistakes. I mean, I'm a very prepared hiker now. And the only reason I am is because I know what not to do. I've done it all wrong. And now I know what not to do. So yeah. Well, I think that we're done, but oh my gosh, this has been so fun. And I just really appreciate you taking the time to sit in the Starbucks parking lot and talk to me.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I'm stoked you reached out and we got to connect, and yeah, this was fun. I'm excited to see more of your podcasts, and I think you're doing a great job, and I hope people enjoy this little story stuff. Yeah.
Yes, I know I did. And, maybe 6 months to a year, maybe you'll see me sign up for an old photography workshop. I really want to do the wave one. That looks so cool. I really want to go out there. So don't be surprised.
I'll look forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you so much and have a great night.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye. Kenny, thank you so much for joining me and for sharing your stories, your creativity, and your love for the outdoors and photography with all of us. And friends, be sure to come back next Tuesday for another episode full of outdoorsy stories. In the meantime, if you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And if you have questions for me or for Kenny, drop them in the comments or reviews. We'd love to hear from you. And of course, one last reminder, whatever adventures you head out on, please remember to leave no trace. Protect these places so they'll be just as magical for the next person. Until next week, bye.